Hi, I'm Tony Bramley from the Light Academy. Today I'm going to look at the pen tool. The pen tool is a bit scary for some people, however I'm going to show you how easy it is to be used. More importantly, I've included this shape for you to practice on, and at the end of the video I will take you through how to do this. I use the pen tool a lot, particularly for my suprematism work. This image here has over 60 cutouts using the pen tool from the original geometry. However, for this tutorial I'm going to take a look at this flower. So let's get on and let's attack this peace lily. The best cutout selections are by far when using the pen tool. I'll show you how to make paths around this lily. However, take a look at this shape on the left hand side first of all. I'm going to give you a download for this and also I'll take you through it at the end. If you use this as a practice image, it will really help you get used to using the pen tool. Hopefully you'll get to love this shape and it will help you like no other tutorial. So don't forget, download it in the link below. The pen tool lives over here in the toolbar. If you click on it, you'll see the very top is the pen tool and they've got some other options underneath. You don't need to actually use these options within the toolbar. We can actually access these lower three within the image itself, which is what we'll do. So we'll stay with the pen tool, it's P on the keyboard. Before we start on this, let's just do a little exercise to show you. First of all, one click, then another click and a drag, and that pulls out the curve. Another click and a drag. This time I'm going to hold the Alt key down. That will allow me to get this little inverted key here, which is a convert point tool. And we can move that to the next direction we're going in. Another click, and you see it's a straight line as we move that point. A final click to close the curve. You'll see that these points are all red. If you want to move one of them, use the Command or Control key and click it once, and then everything else will turn either white or clear, and you'll have an active point red. If you don't do that, if I just undo, and you try and move with the Control or Command key, the whole thing will move. So hold Command Control down, click once, and now we can move just one point. Pressing Alt down, and you get the inverted V, click and drag, and it will pull the arms out. Let go and click on a point again, and that activates only one of them. And you use one of these to produce a sharper angle within the curves. Using something simple like this as 4 points is a good way to get started. So you can just use the two keys, Alt and then Command or Control. So Alt, pull, let go, click again and pull, and have a play around, see what happens with the curves as you move them in and out and at different angles. I'll let go of Alt and actually go into Command or Control, one click, and I'm moving one single point, so I can use this to fine tune. Also, if you move over to a line, you will see that the pen tool automatically moves over to a plus, and you can add a new point. Press Control or Command again, and you can fine tune that point. If you move over to a point, you will see that it changes to a minus, and we can delete that. So these are very quick ways just to use the pen tool without having to go back into the toolbox. And back now to the peace lily. So zooming in. And we're going to start at the bottom here with the first point. One click. You want to put a point in where the direction changes. So we've got a curve here, so the change is about here. Click and drag. So I'm going to look at the bottom line and see where that goes into place. I'm going to leave this as a straight angle, because if you leave it straight, then the next curve will not have any sharp angles. It will attempt to produce an S curve, which is what you want a lot of the time, unless the direction changes and you do want an angle. So here's the next change here. Click and drag. and just keep an eye on the lines underneath. When you're working with things like plants or even clothing, there's no reason why you can't come inside the edge. It will make an extremely clean edge. You can always feather it because generally the pictures that come out of camera, the lenses do cause a little bit of loss of definition along the edges. Zooming in a lot closer when we're going into detailing. Just keep going around. Don't forget, try and keep just inside that edge there. And go back and adjust that one there, just bring that in a little bit. And going back on this one. I'm just going to delete this one. I don't like how that's working, so just hover over and you get a minus and delete. And I'm just going to adjust this one up here. Pull this one back as well. And I might just be showing some edge there, so I'm going to add one now. And holding Command down, I'm going to push that up. And that produces a good curve along there. And that closes up the path. Just pressing Command or Control, we can pull these now off screen, but don't do what I've done, which is just pulled the whole thing down. So I'm going to undo that. And do use undo a lot, Command or Control Z. If you make lots of mistakes initially, then just keep doing Command, Control Z, undo, and you won't get lost. You can just go back 1 or 2 states. So what I did wrong there is I only clicked once, and all of these little points are red. So Command or Control, click once, the others turn white. I can now pull that single one down and that one just off the edge. Zoom out, Command O, and we can see the completed path there. Next I go up to the context menu here and click on Selection. And normally I put a feather in of somewhere between 2, 3 or 4, but for this demo I'm going to keep it at 0 to show you how good the edge is. Everything else I leave as is, click OK, and we have a selection there. Sometimes you can use a layer mask straight away, but what I'm going to do is just press Command or Control J, and that will copy and paste the cutout. So keeping on the background, I'm going to come down here and add a solid colour adjustment layer. This allows me to actually put a black and white layer underneath it, just so I can assess the cutout. I'll start with a black layer and then zoom in and just check your edges. Now look how beautiful these edges are. You just can't get that with a selection brush. Absolutely amazing cutouts, the pen tool. Everything's looking good there. Even along here, it's looking superb. Let's check it on a white background as well, so double click here. And depending on what background you're going to end up using, do swap them around. And if you're bringing in a totally different background that's not a solid colour, do bring that in as well, just to check. That's looking fantastic. One final thing on the paths, and that is if you go up to Window and open up Paths, now I do have it as a shortcut here, but do double click on the work path and give it a new name so that it gets saved. Now if you think there was an awful lot of curves in there, so it was quite complex, but at least you've seen the process. Certainly practice as much as you can on simple objects, do what I did at the beginning, but the other thing you really want to try is this shape that I've given you. It's a very easy way for you to get used to the pen tool, so let's show you that. So if you open up the image in Photoshop, and let's show you how easy it is going to be to take you through all of these curves. Here's the first click. Come down to the second click, click and drag and follow the points. Down to the third click, watch what happens to the curves, just follow the points. Now we need to press Alt to move this one and pull that up to number 4. That's going to help with this curve here. Over to number 5, click and watch that curve pull up as I come down. Just follow the lines. Number 6 is a change of angle, so again we're going to press Alt, get that little inverted V, bring it up to 6, and be ready for this one. Number 7, click and drag. Again that curve pops out. You don't have to be that exact, it's just giving you some help here. And the last one, we're joining up the path, click and drag. It puts a lovely S in. That's the pen tool for you. Get practicing and make it your friend.